Okay, so this is my presentation for personal philosophy. I'm Evan, and first off, I want to apologize. I have a bit of a cold, so if I sound funny, that's my own fault. I want to say and start off with that I've always considered myself a bit of a leader in more than just one way. I'm the oldest brother of three, so that makes me a leader in that sense at home, where I have to be the first to go through everything and then help my brothers out in their own lives as they go through the same sort of experiences. I've been on many teams growing up, different, whether it's in school for projects or sports, doesn't really matter. And then after school, being in my job now, I've been there for 4 years. So I'm at the point where the new people we hire come to me and ask for questions because I understand, I know what's going on. So in a sense, I'm a leader in a lot of my life, whether it's been forced upon me or if it just happened. After doing a lot of this course, I started to realize more of what a leader was and what parts I was missing. For example, for myself, I know that I have a short temper at times and I can be very quick to judge, so I need to work on that. But it's things you don't realize. Like the servant leadership, I found really interesting when we did that. Is that sometimes a leader isn't the person who dictates and isn't at the head of the group. It's sometimes somebody who guides from the sidelines. They lead by example and they do everything that's required, but you don't necessarily ask them to do all that. And so I want to bring up one example first, is when we did the project on the mindsets. And before we had read it, I'd already decided, reading through the descriptions, that I had a fixed mindset. It suited me, it was accurate. And so after reading everything and the result afterwards, I just realized I needed to have a growth mindset, which made sense to me. Because after reading through the examples, a bad day is just a bad day. It's not the end-all be-all. And what I realized that I didn't understand what a mindset really was. So I know in this sense that the mindset for growth is being optimistic every day and looking for the opportunities to change rather than dwelling on what's gone wrong. So the next thing I want to bring up actually is when we did the theory XY, the assumptions about people. And for that, I scored 42 for theory X and 58 for theory Y. So I can just read you my little bit of a description here in saying that the interpretation and the scores are very accurate. For the most part, I'm optimistic, trusting of others, and I'm able to delegate in order to get tasks done if that's something that needs to happen. I also see that the negative interpretation is accurate. Is that I need to be more depending on the people I'm working with, and I need to trust them to do their own job. And that makes sense. Knowing myself beforehand, I would tackle everything if I didn't think anybody else could do it. But especially after that quiz, I guess, I realized that a team is exactly what that is. It's a team. It's not one person. So I need to branch out, trust people to do their own job, and realize the job's going to get done, whether I do 100% of it or do 20% of it. As long as everybody does their 20%, then it's still 100, right? So that sort of thing really opened my eyes that I need to loosen up and let people be themselves. The next thing I want to read actually is back at the beginning in Module 1, is how we had to type up our own philosophy about leadership. And I wanted to bring up that and see how it changed from then to now. So I'll just read it out for everybody first. So I said, a leader is somebody that has an impossible role to fill because there is no simple definition of a leader. In the simplest terms, a leader should be the unifying force of a team. They don't demand respect, they earn it through the actions being shown and forming the path that the team follows. They are able to see more than just the initial problem, and they have the innate ability to see the journey as a whole and the path and obstacles along the way. They are also a person who isn't afraid of the path to change if the original plan isn't working. A leader is also somebody who isn't afraid or offended to get help from those around them. A leader isn't somebody who sits on a throne and barks orders, but rather somebody who is able to be a part of the process and delegate along the way. Now, I think a lot of these are the same. I believe the same things. A leader isn't somebody who dictates sitting and watching everybody else. A leader is part of the group. They're in there getting their hands dirty. They're helping reach a goal. They need to be able to see everything, not just focus on one or the other. And I found it interesting because, we wrote this back in September. And thinking about how I've changed from then till now, it's actually, I'm starting to fill a whole lot of these things out. I know, I'll use an example, actually. I train with my girlfriend when we go to work out, and a lot of the time it would be, Evan, you pick. Evan, you do this. So I'd set up every day, whatever we wanted, and it started to sink in the further we went through this course that she doesn't have the same goals as I do. We both want to be healthy, we both want to be in shape, but her looks and her physique isn't the same as mine. We can't train the same everything. So I've started to change the way we do that. It's, Sierra, what do you want to do today? I'm still getting a workout in, I can still do things, but we're both happy and we're both getting what we want. It's more of a servant leadership, I guess. It's that I'm pushing her to what she wants to do, even though she doesn't realize it. Just by telling me what exercise she wants to do, she's telling me what she wants to work on, what she wants to build. And if I can encourage her or spot her or give her that extra 5 pounds so she can reach the next level, then I'm doing my job. And that's what I want. I want her to be successful. And that's what I've started to realize more. That for me to be a successful leader is that I need everybody else and those that I'm working with to be successful first. You need to be selfless. And I know that myself, I didn't start out selfless. I started out more selfish. So the fact that I have the chance, and especially in this career path, to help others is a huge bonus for me. It gives me lots of room to grow, gives me lots of room to help other people, and especially just change lives, make other people feel good about themselves, because that's what matters most. Giving others confidence. And the last thing I want to bring up is that the servant leadership, it's still a concept I don't understand entirely, as much as I've read through the concepts. But the more I think about it and the more I act on it, the easier it gets. And it's a lot of these things in this whole course. You can say you're going to be more understanding, but how many people are? You're going to listen more, things like that. It's easy to say. But even in my own relationships with my parents, with my girlfriend, with my brothers, the more I listen, the more I talk to them, the more I put in an effort rather than seeing my own path and seeing everybody's, the easier things get. So just having your eyes open to the possibilities of what a leadership can actually be, it's amazing. And I love how much more I can do. Yeah, so that's my little wrap up, and I appreciate everybody for watching. Thank you.